Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. We got a Faction Dancer 1 for you today. This is the narrowest of those Dancer series of skis, 86 millimeters underfoot, 2 sheets of metal, but it has that freeride influence to it, so it does feel a little bit more playful than the shape and the build may indicate, especially because it has its wider siblings to base the general attitude off of. So Dancer 1 certainly focuses more on front side slash all mountain. You know, Faction as a company doesn't really make a true front side carving ski. You know, they don't have a race department to base things off of. So they're really taking what they know how to do well and paring it down into a narrower overall profile, and that functions really well as their front side and all mountain ski. Over the past 2 years that we've done Faction in our ski test, this Dancer series has really stood out as kind of a fan or a tester favorite, if you will. And, you know, everyone that gets on these is very surprised, and I think just the general sense is that they were impressed with how Faction makes such an energetic and stable ski. In the Dancer 1, that all starts with a lightweight poplar wood core, which has a lot of energy built in, and then they sandwich that in between 2 layers of thin metal. So combining that lightweight wood with thinner sheets of metal creates this particular effect of the ski having a good amount of energy without being too heavy. Obviously, the overall shape is kind of lower, so there's just less mass overall in this ski. So it's going to be quick, light, and agile, in addition to being responsive and fairly predictable. This is the, what did we got here? The 170, so kind of on the shorter side too. So shorter ski, narrower waist, less material overall. But with 2 sheets of metal, we're at 1,682 grams. Obviously, those longer lengths are going to have a little bit more weight to them. But for having 2 sheets of metal and being a pretty solid ski, that's a nice weight for sure. Full sidewall definitely goes to a little bit of a cap in the very tips and the very tails, but underfoot, that full sidewall, and there is you know, a barrier in between the sidewall and the core just to add another layer of resistance, as well as functioning as basically an additional vertical laminate when it comes to performance. But these things are pretty stiff. You know, that's one of the things that the testers all noticed for sure, was that they have a very stiff flex, and they liked it because there's so much energy built in. So yeah, 86 underfoot, and this short one here, what does that say? That tiny writing, 14 meter turn radius. So shorter in this one, obviously it's going to get a little bit longer as the length increases. But there we see that energy built into the ski through the camber. So nice high camber profile underfoot, and then we get that free ride influence in the tip and the tail. So, you know, decent splay here up front. Definitely more of that all mountain style, with relatively, you know, width appropriate rocker, and then that nice round, slightly tapered shape. There's certainly 86s out there that have a lot less taper. And then we see that nice round shape in the tail as well. Minimal splay here, but enough to make it a little bit more friendly. That camber does line up with where that sidewall goes to cap. So you're getting a little bit more agility and playfulness in the tips and tails as a result. But again, favorite ski. These Dancer series, Dancer 1, certainly has a big following, especially for skiers who spend a lot of time in firmer snow like we do here in Vermont. This 86 makes a lot of sense for a lot of skiers in that it has, you know, that high-end ceiling, but also is maneuverable enough for progressing and improving skiers. So make sure you check out this Faction Dancer 1 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.